कस्तूरी तिलकं ललाटपटले वक्षस्थले कौस्तुभम् नासाग्रे वर्मौक्तिकं करतले वेणुकरे कङ्कणम् सर्वांगे हरिचन्दनं सुललितं कंठे च मुक्तावली गोपास्त्री परिवेष्टितो विजयते गोपाल चूड़ामणि वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचानूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. We are reading from Shrimad Bhagwat Mahapuran and we are in Canto 10, which has 90 chapters. Out of those 90 chapters, we have completed the episodes about killing of Kans, and after that we went through the episode of Shri Krishna and Balram's Yagyopavit, which is a thread ceremony, and their entry into the Gurukul. The Gurukul is led by Sandipani Muni. And the chapter 46 is Uddhavji's Braj Yatra. Uddhavji travels to Braj. So let's see what is the chapter for today, because we had some gaps, so I have missed the sequence. So we are somewhere here, 46, 47, which we shall take up today. But before we go into the chapter, let us begin with a bhajan. Radhe Radhe. So I will just initiate the bhajan because I'm not in a very good position to sing the whole text. I'll just sing the opening lines and Vijay Bhaiya will sing the rest. अब ना और तरसाओ रसिया, आओ आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया. अब ना और तरसाओ रसिया, आओ आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया. यद्यपि यह सच है नहीं तुम कहो, यद्यपि यह सच है नहीं तुम कहो, भूख प्यास लागती रसिया, भूख प्यास लागती रसिया. तदपि भाव वश ब्रज छछिया लगी, तदपि भाव वश ब्रज छछिया लगी. चोरी करत फिर यो रसिया, चोरी करत फिर यो रसिया. अब ना और तरसाओ रसिया, आओ आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया. राधे राधे.
राधे राधे. भावहीन दुर्योधन व्यंजन, भावहीन दुर्योधन व्यंजन, नहीं टुक मन भायो रसिया, नहीं टुक मन भायो रसिया, भाव वरा की लेखा
Please
चलेका.
come closer to the mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
भाव वरा के लेखा चलेका, विदुरानी घर खायो रसिया, अब ना और तरसाओ रसिया, आओ आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया. Yeah, Himanti, you want to sing? Yeah, raise your hand. जो रस शबरी के जूठे.
झूठे मुख जो रस शबरी के झूठे मुख बेर खाय पायो रसिया, बेर खाय पायो रसिया, जनकपुरी के राज भोग महा जो रस नहीं पायो रसिया, जनकपुरी के राज भोग महा जो रस नहीं पायो रसिया, हो मानत हो भावहीन हो, ओ मानत हो भावहीन हो, भावहीन हो, ऐ सुन खरी खरी रसिया, ऐ सुन खरी खरी रसिया, अब ना और तरसाओ रसिया, आओ आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया. राधे राधे.
We
खत
continue.
कृपालु पे पियो पूत नहीं, याते अब आ जाओ रसिया, अब ना और तरसाओ रसिया, आओ आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया. राधे राधे.
रसिया ओ रसिया, रसिया
रसिया
ओ
ओ रसिया, मेरे मन बसिया.
बसिया, रसिया ओ रसिया, मेरे मन बसिया, रसिया ओ रसिया, मेरे मन बसिया, रसिया ओ रसिया, मेरे मन बसिया, कत कृपालु पे पियो पूत नहीं, याते अब आ जाओ रसिया, अब ना और तरसाओ रसिया, आओ आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया, आओ आओ लो, आओ आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया, आओ आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया। श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की जय।
जय.
श्रीमद युगल सरकार की जय। जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे। Our koti koti pranam to the lotus feet of Sri Hari and Sri Guru. Our koti koti pranam to Swami Mukundanandji. My humble pranam to each one of you. And now we shall take up the chapter called Chapter 47 from 10th Canto, Bhramar Geet, the songs by the bees and the Gopi-Uddhav Conversation. So let us understand the personalities. Uddhav ji is a cousin of Shri Krishna. If I recall correctly, he is related to Shri Krishna. And he is as tall, well-built, handsome as Shri Krishna. So from a distance, people may mistake him as Shri Krishna. And he is a great scholar of the spiritual knowledge. He is the disciple of Sri Biraspati. But In the early stage, what we have heard, he is a jnani. A jnani is a person who is more concerned about the knowledge rather than the devotional aspect. So a jnani worships the Brahma. So Brahma is very philosophical, where the Lord is not seen as a person and the devotional sentiments are not at their best. So a jnani worships Brahma, the unmanifest form of God. The yogi worships Paramatma, the Lord residing in the heart. But a bhakt worships Shri Krishna, the personal form of the Lord. And when we worship Shri Krishna, all kinds of interactions are possible, and that is why that rasha is infinite and beyond imagination. So Uddhav ji was a jnani, and how he transforms into a bhakt, and then he realizes that actually the real jnana is to have devotion into the lotus feet of Shri Krishna. So this was the revelation by Bhishma Pitama. When Bhishma Pitama was lying on the bed of arrows, and when all the Pandavas headed by Yudhishthir and Sri Krishna and Draupadi, everyone has assembled there, because Yudhishthir wanted to hear what is dharma. And Sri Krishna said at this point of time, the one personality who knows dharma is Bhishma Pitama. So we have to hear dharma from him. And dharma was described by Bhishma Pitama from the bed of arrows, based on which what we read in Mahabharata is the is the dharma propounded by Bhishma Pitama. And finally, when he delivers the discourse, what does he conclude? He said that though so much is said about the dharma, the highest dharma is to have devotion to the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, who is standing here. So, how that is possible, we are getting a taste of it as we advance into the study of Bhagwat Mahapuran. And today we shall hear the conversation between the gopis and Uddhav ji. Now, why gopis are considered the highest devotees? They are considered the highest devotees because they have got such intense love for Shri Krishna. Now, who is Shri Krishna? Shri Krishna is God, from whom we have been created, and by whom we are sustained, and in whom we will merge. So, we are the part of Shri Krishna, and the part's role is to serve the whole. And that is our dharma, that we have to serve the Lord. But because of Maya, we have forgotten that our duty is to serve Sri Krishna, and that is why we are into so much of confusion and delusion. We are not in a position to understand how the life and death and the rebirth and the soul, punarjanm, all these are happening in this world. And the material world is actually dukkhalayam ashashvatam, as described in Bhagavad Gita, 8th chapter, shloka number 15. Mam upetya punarjanma dukkhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti tu kaunteya sansiddhim paramam gatim, if I recalled correctly. But the first line, Mam upetya punarjanma dukkhalayam ashashvatam. So, in the preceding verse in Bhagavad Gita, which is the verse number 14, 8:14, the most iconic verse of Bhagavad Gita is there. which is Yomam Asmarati Nityashah Nityayuktasya Yogina Tashyaham Sulabha Partha, that famous shloka where it is stated that actually getting to know Shri Krishna and getting to reach Shri Krishna is actually simple. It is easy. Tashyaham Sulabha Partha. But what is the condition? Condition is Ananya Cheta Satatam Yomam Asmarti Nityashah. Tashyaham Sulabha Partha Nitya Yuktasya Yoginaha. Only for those who constantly remember Shri Krishna. And this is so logical. Once we have come to know that our only benefactor is Shri Krishna, our only merciful master is Shri Krishna, our only relative is Shri Krishna. And that's what we say, Tomeva Mata Cha Pita, Tomeva Bandhu Cha Sakha, Tomeva. What is the meaning? O Shri Krishna, you alone are my father, you alone are my mother, you alone are my everything, you alone are my teacher, my wealth, my education. But are we just saying by words, or are we really meaning it? If we mean it, then we should know how important this relationship is. And therefore, we should never forget it. And that is what is meant, Yomam Asmarti Nityashah, Nitya Yuktasya Yoginaha. Otherwise, this world is Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. It is full of miseries and it is temporary. Which material acquisition does not have a shelf life? Everything has a shelf life. The house, the building, the car, and most importantly, our body itself has a shelf life. After some time, it's going to grow old and decay and come to a stage where it no longer can sustain itself. So that is the condition of this material world, Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. So gopis realize that very much and they surrender wholeheartedly to Shri Krishna. And these gopis are of various backgrounds. Some of them were great sages in Dandakaranya forest during the time of Sri Ram. Some of these gopis are the sons of Agni. They have become gopis in this life. Some of the gopis are the richas of the Vedas, the Ved mantras. Some of the gopis are the direct descendants from Golok. They are the co-servitors of Shri Krishna. They are some of them are the Nitya Sakhi, uh, constant friends of Shri Krishna. So different types of gopis are there. And they will have this conversation with Uddhav Ji. And Uddhav Ji thinks that Shri Krishna has sent him to deliver knowledge to gopis because he is such a great scholar. But what will happen in reality is Uddhav Ji will learn what is knowledge from the gopis. So the gopis, how they converse and how they use this Bhramar Geet as a very beautiful comparison. Let us read. Number 1. At dawn, while the gopis anxiously discussed about the visitor of Nandaraj, Uddhavji appeared returning back from the Yamuna after finishing his morning worship rituals. Now the gopis beheld Uddhavji with long arms, lotus-like bright appearance, wearing pitambri along with a garland of lotuses and many sparkling, resplendent ornaments. Delighted to see him so similar like their Krishna, the gopis then surrounded him and inquired all details about him. When Uddhavji told them that he had a special message from Krishna for them, the gopis took him aside and making him sit comfortably, smilingly, shyly inquired, "We realize you are a close friend of Shri Krishna and have been sent by him with a special message to his parents, as bonds of family affection are very strong." Other than that, there is nothing else of particular importance to him in this forest land of Vraj. Because all other relations like that of lovers is only selfish and continues till only one's own benefits continue. Just like how the halats abandon a destitute, the people an incompetent and incapable ruler, the students their teacher after finishing their education, the priests ignore the yajman once getting their dakshina after a yagya. The birds abandon the tree when it doesn't give fruits. The guests ignore their hosts after moving out. The animals a burnt forest. A lover his woman when he has had enough of her. Completely absorbed in Krishna, the gopis losing complete control over themselves, no more bothering about etiquette, remembering their beloved Krishna, then let go, crying out loudly and shamelessly in their agony of separation. Radhe Radhe. You all can go ahead and read, please.
Verse number 3, I'll do this and then, sorry, if anybody wants to read, you can raise their hand. Kachin Madhurakam Drishtava Dhyayanti Krishna Sangamam Priya Prasthapitam Dutam Kalya Kalpa Itvedam Abravit. Translation is musing over her past union with Shri Krishna and presently perceiving a black bee before her, a certain gopi, presumably Shri Radha herself, the foremost and the beloved of all gopis, some of whom loved her even more than they loved Shri Krishna, fancied it to be a messenger dispatched by Shri Krishna, her darling, and spoke as follows. The commentators like Sanatan Goswami explains that only due to her divine ecstasy, Divyonmad, which has no parallel, that Sri Radha has uttered the following words in the purest form of divine love.
Radhe Radhe.
Uh,
So, as we know that in Bhagwat Mahapuran, Radha's name doesn't appear. And we also know that the personality of Radha is the only entity which is considered superior to Krishna. Sri Krishna is above all. Mattah partaram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. Mayi sarvam idam protam sutre mani gana iva. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, shloka number 7. There is no one above Sri Krishna. And who is Radhaji? Radhaji is also Sri Krishna. She is the energy of Sri Krishna. She is the Hladini Shakti of Sri Krishna, the Prema Shakti of Sri Krishna, the loving devotional energy of Sri Krishna. And that is why Sri Krishna is under her control. And that is why Radha is considered the most exalted. And that is why we always say Radhe Krishna. We always say Radhe Radhe. So that is the position of Radha. In this particular context, she is one of the gopis. And what she has to say, they are not even revealing exactly that Sri Radha is the one who is speaking, but it is written, presumably Sri Radha herself, the foremost and the beloved of all gopis, and some of whom loved her even more than they loved Sri Krishna. So that is also understood because Radha ji is definitely as worshipable or more worshipable than Sri Krishna. So let us see what happens next in the Bhramar Geet.
Yeah, anybody else wants to?
Yes. Is it okay if I do it, Bhaiya? Radhe Radhe.
Yeah, go ahead.
Then one particular gopi, assumed to be Sri Radharani, speaking in a helpless, desperate, agonized, disappointed state, tormented in separation, recollecting her associations with Sri Krishna, saw a bee hovering around her and taking it to be a messenger sent by her Krishna, spoke to it, bee, O friend of the cheater Sri Krishna, do not touch our feet with your mustache whiskers, as they are now red carried from Krishna's garlands which in turn has turned red by embracing the Mathura women. Oh, B, it is better you continue sitting on his garland and make the Mathura ladies proud. You will only get ridiculed by touching us ordinary rustic village women of Vraj. Krishna made us drink the enchanting nectar of his lips only once and has abandoned us suddenly, just the way you abandon a flower after drinking its nectar. Free and doing well, now that he is freely residing amongst his near and dear ones.
So this is very profound and very esoteric to comprehend and describe, because the love between the gopis and Shri Krishna, they appear ecstatic. At times they are, resorting to sarcasm and banter. So this is one of the instances where they are expressing their very different emotions, that Shri Krishna has forgotten us and he is with the women in Mathura. So you are coming here and trying to touch us, but don't do that. Do not touch our feet, because your mustache, they are now red, carried from Krishna's garlands, which in turn turned red because Shri Krishna embraced the Mathura women. So they are showing their jealousy, frustration, or whatever. Actually, they are showing their ecstatic love, which we will understand because they never give up on their love for Shri Krishna. So this is one of the ways to express their emotions. Maybe when we read the next couple of slides, we will understand it better. Radhe Radhe.
Shall I go ahead, or does somebody else want to read it, please?
I think Hemadi.
Shall I go, Shila Didi?
Yes, please
Yeah,
do so.
okay.
Yeah, thank you, Radhe Radhe.
I wonder how Goddess Shri is unaware of his infidelity as she still continues to serve his lotus feet. It must be only because Devi Lakshmi is captivated and charmed over by her Lord's smooth talk. O B, it is of no use for you to sing his glories in front of us, destitutes, as we are well aware that he is the most ancient, glorious one, supreme Brahm. It will be better if you sing the same to the women in Mathura, as at least then you will be rewarded by those happy and delighted women, as they have the Lord amongst them. Krishna is irresistible to all women folk on earth, and when Lakshmi Devi, sitting in his heart herself, still serves him, not letting him go out of her sight, then we gopis are nothing in comparison and do not hold any special importance to him. Here in the glories of the Lord, Uttam Shlok, where he assumes, protects, is merciful and cares for the forlorn and destitute, then why does he not live up to his name of Uttam Shlok for us too, trying to win us over by imitating your expert master's act of flattery will be of no use. O B, leave my foot, O B. Radhe Radhe, thank you.
Radhe Radhe. So the Uttam Shlok word is very relevant. In Bhagwat Puran, the epithet Uttam Shlok is used for Shri Krishna, since devotees and sages sing his glory with the most exalted verses. So we are hearing the kind of a jealous sentiments of the gopis, and they are saying that Shri Krishna is so lost with the women in Mathura, and Lakshmi Devi sits in his heart, still serves him, not letting him go out of her sight. Then we gopis are nothing in comparison, and obviously we do not hold any special importance to him. So, hearing the glories of the Lord, Uttam Shlok, where he assures, protects, is merciful, and cares for the fallen and destitutes, why does he not live up to his name of Uttam Shlok? So though he is the most exalted, all the top verses are reserved for him, but gopis have to vent out their separation, their emotions, their sentiments, and they have got a good excuse to talk about the women in Mathura. That is how we all can interpret it. So let's see the next shlok, next slide. I think Shaurya ji wanted to read.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
The said Gopi continues, having abandoned our everything, even forsaking our happiness of attaining heaven by giving up our dharma only for him, what is to be gained by you, O B, by giving his message of love, knowing how fickle and deceitful he is, what is the what is to be then gained by coming to terms with him now? He has shown such behavior earlier too, when as Shri Ram he slayed Vanar Vali stealthily as a hunter and not as a Kshatriya, rejecting all rules of warfare, and then coming under the charms of wife Sita, he deformed Shupnakha, a woman who had approached him in lust. And again, as a Brahmin Vamandev, he cheated King Bali, who, despite having surrendered his entire opulence at his feet, was still bound with Varun waters, arresting him just like cow would trouble a person feeding him after eating the food. So now enough of talks of friendship with the dark-hued one Krishna. Though his form is impossible to forget, let's then talk about something else. Radhe Radhe.
So it's so amazing to hear this. The gopis are picking on all those episodes where Shri Krishna can be put down, can be shown in a negative light, and Sri Ram and Sri Krishna are one and the same. So here Gopi is enlisting all those episodes, and they are saying, look how when he was present as Sri Ram, he killed Vanar, Vali. So as we know, Bali and Sugriv, they were brothers, and Vali had the boon that whoever fights with him, and if the person who is fighting is opposite him, he will gain his strength. That was the boon given to Bali by Brahmaji. Now Bali is unleashing a reign of terror. He is tormenting his brother Sugriv. He has kidnapped his younger brother's wife, and all kinds of perpetrations are ongoing. Now Shri Ram has to kill Bali. So what he does, he kills Bali from behind. And the reason why he kills Bali from behind is that uh, Brahmaji has given the boon, and he wants to protect the boon of his devotee. Brahmaji is his creation. And he is okay to take up the stigma of, not going by the rules of the warfare, rules of the Kshatriya Dharma. So he decides to take the stigma, but only to protect the boon of his devotee. So actually, it is such a glorious deed. But the gopis have to say something, so they come out with this particular uh, example. Same with Shupranakha. Shri Ram deformed the nose of Shupranakha, who had actually approached him. And same with the Vaman Dev. The Lord, everything he does is a sweet pastime, is a sweet leela. It is never to put anyone down. It is only to give lessons. But depending on the situation, it can be interpreted in different ways, and that's what the gopis are doing. Let's go into the next slide.
I'll probably read this. The said Gopi continues, with hearing of even one Leela of Shri Krishna fall, falling as nectar in the ear, many transformed materialistic persons have abandoned their all only to lead a life of discomfort as mendicants, begging for food. Similar to the black deer who gets deceived by the sweet talks and songs of the hunter and gets shot with his arrow, we too repeatedly took his words as true and are now pained and suffering, yearning for his touch. So, dear B, no more talks of Krishna, which is only awakening our memories and increasing our agony. Note, this is assumed that B suddenly disappeared, making the Gopi think it should not be so harsh, and hence when the bee reappears, she is grateful and acknowledges the greatness of the Devi Shri. Then calming and controlling herself, the said Gopi then asks the bee, seeing that, my dear beloved, I sent you again. I wish to honor and reward you with your wish, but do not think of taking us back to him, as Devi Shri, his eternal consort, is always with him in his bosom. The Gopi then asks Uddhavji, has Aryaputra Krishna completed his education in Guru's ashram, and is he very happy back in Mathura? Does he remember Nanda Baba, Yashoda Maiya, his home, his relations, his Gopa friends and from Vrindavan? Has he mentioned about us gopis, his dasis, even once to the Mathura ladies? Uddhavji, when will the auspicious moment arrive when Sri Krishna will grace and bless us with his soft, fragrant, strong palms placed on our heads?
So this was expected. We saw so much of sarcasm, so much of frustrating words, so much of accusations and negative sentiments expressed by the gopis. But when the bee disappeared and reappeared again, the gopis have changed. And now they are calmed and controlled, and they are saying that uh, actually we wish to honor and reward you with your wish. And they ask some questions. Has Sri Krishna completed his education in Guru's ashram? Is he happy back in Mathura? And whether he is remembering all these people who are waiting for him, Nanda Baba, Yashoda, Gopa friends, etc. So this is the great kind of exchange about Gopi's sentiments for Sri Krishna. So let's see what happens in the next slide.
Smita, do you want to read it, Smita Didi?
We have Anindya here also. So wait,
If no one does, can
Right.
I read it?
Okay, go.
Sukhdev ji tells, Dear Parikshit, seeing the pitiable, lamenting, distraught gopis, Uddhav ji then wanted to reassure them with Krishna's message to them. Uddhav ji says, Oh blessed gopis, you're the most fortunate among the creations, having been blessed with such unparalleled, selfless devotion. You have set the highest bar in devotion and shall always be known as the foremost devotees of the Lord, with your incomparable and complete surrender to the Lord. Charity, austerities, observing fasts and vows, yagyas, Vedic knowledge, meditation, following dharma, etc., are the various methods a person follows on the path to the ultimate goal of God realization, like all water bodies finally merging into the sea. And you all, O gopis, have been blessed with his exclusive bhakti. with your unmatched, pure, simple, selfless devotion, love to him, which is desperately desired but not easily got even by accomplished yogis and sages. You are most fortunate that abandoning all your material relations, you see only Krishna, who is the relative of all in creation, as your only real relation. I'm fortunate and honored to witness your deep devotion, wherein you see Krishna alone in everything and everyone. O Devis, as a humble servant of my master Krishna, I have a confidential message from him, which intends to please you immensely and bring you delight and bliss. Uddhavji quotes Krishna's message verbatim. I reside in all creation as their inner controller and witness. Hence, I'm always with you too. And hence, separation from me is impossible. The world is made up of the five main elements present in all creation. Similarly, I too, as a creator, am in them and they in me. And it is me who then takes their various forms. With my Maya, I create, maintain, and also dissolve the creation. Radhe Radhe, so beautiful.
Right. So finally, Uddhav ji has heard the Bhramar Geet, the lamentations and the words of the gopis, and he is now addressing the gopis and saying that you are the most fortunate. You all have abandoned all your material relations. You only see Shri Krishna as your relative. And I am fortunate and honored to witness your deep devotion. This is what Uddhav ji tells gopis. Because you see Krishna alone in everything and everyone. So you may remember in the conversation between Uddhav ji and gopis, finally the gopis say that actually we are not separated. You know, one moment they are saying we are feeling very lonely and very separated, and then they say no, actually we are not. We are seeing Sri Krishna everywhere. So they say that they say to Uddhav ji, because when Uddhav ji was first trying to give the knowledge of the Brahm, the unmanifest supreme entity, Gopi said, you are thinking that we are not seeing Sri Krishna. Actually, we are seeing Sri Krishna in every atom. Everywhere we can see Sri Krishna. Look at that garden. Sri Krishna is there. Look at that shrub. Can you see Sri Krishna is there? Look at that window. Sri Krishna is there in the window. Look at that door. Shri Krishna is there in the door. Look at that gopi. Shri Krishna is there in the gopis. Look at that the cow, the godhan, the cow. Shri Krishna is there in that. Look at that ornaments which the gopis are wearing. Shri Krishna is there in that ornament. So there is this very beautiful poetry. बाटन में घाटन में वीथिन में बागन में बेलिन में बाटिका में फूलन में वन में दरन में दीवारन में देहरी दरीचन में हारन में हीरन में भूषण में तन में कानन में कुंजन में गोपिन में गायन में गोकुल में गोधन में दामिनी में घन में याही ब्रजमंडल के रेणु के कन में जहां जहां देखूं तहां श्याम ही दिखाई देत मेरे श्याम छाए रहियो नैनन में मन में. So in the extreme devotion to the Lord, there is no separation. So that is the condition of gopis. For saying what they said, all that was expressed. But in reality, what is their state? They can see Sri Krishna everywhere, not only in the unmanifest form, but in the manifest form. That is the deep devotion that gopis have with Shri Krishna. So the virah prem is considered, that is why the love in separation is considered even greater than the love in union. So much to dwell on this beautiful philosophical meaning of the purport of Uddhavji words when he says, he quotes Krishna's message, I reside in all creation as their inner controller and witness. Hence, I am always with you too. And hence, separation from me is impossible. The world is made up of 5 main elements: earth, water, fire, air, space. Similarly, I too, as a creator, I am in them and they in me, and it is me who then takes their various forms. With my Maya, I create, maintain, and also dissolve this creation. So look at our fortune when we get to realize this. We have learnt it theoretically that Shri Krishna is there in every atom, but we are not realizing it in our day-to-day routine work. When we are eating food, can we realize the food is also Shri Krishna? When we are consuming liquid water, are we realizing that is also Shri Krishna? When the food is being digested, are we realizing that Shri Krishna seated in our stomach as the fire of digestion is present in the stomach? Are we realizing that Shri Krishna is there in every living being around us as seated in their hearts as Paramatma? Are we realizing that in every atom, in fact, Shri Krishna is present as Shri Krishna himself has expanded to make this world? So that is the highest realization. And once we achieve that, there is nothing else to achieve. So let's move on to the next.
Himayati, you want to read this or let's go ahead?
Yes, Radhe, Radhe, thank you, Paya. Let me enlarge the font. The soul is pure and acquiring pure knowledge, then gets beyond Maya and is influence of its 3 gunas and experiences itself like in the 3 states of sleep, awake and dream state. A soul too is bright and actually one with the Lord. So a person should understand that like a dream is not real, similarly, all the sense objects are unreal and temporary. A soul really has no particular need of the sense objects, and hence one should give up desires for sense gratification and controlling the senses, disregard its objects as not really beneficial to its spiritual growth, and strive to control the senses to attain me. All rivers, with their countless streams and tributaries, finally have to merge into the ocean. Similarly, one practicing Vedic knowledge, rituals, yogas, discriminations, sannyas, austerities, controlling the mind and the senses, following truth, and various dharmas aim for mind control. A person who attains me has attained the ultimate goal of life with perfection of his mind. 12. Krishna's message continues. O dear gopis, I am aware, I am your dear beloved, I am your very life, and this separation from me has been enforced only so that you continue increasing your devotion, surrender your mind to me. We shall then be mentally always with me. Separation helps to increase the mental proximity much more than physical proximity. Meditating on me very soon will be united forever. O Saki, during the Ras Leela, when some gopis could not physically attend, they have then attained me with their devotion and contemplation of my exploits. Shukdev Ji says, hearing the Lord's message, but totally content with the assurance of attaining union with him. The gopis' faces beamed. Radhe, Radhe, thank you.
Radhe Radhe. So this is such a metamorphosis. The episode has started with such, sarcastic and negative words about Shri Krishna. And now the same gopis are beaming with joy after hearing the glories of Shri Krishna, spoken by a great devotee like Uddhav ji. So this is amazing to understand that Sri Krishna is our real friend. He is our real everyone. And those are the rare souls who understand that very well, and they don't indulge their senses in pursuing what is not going to be beneficial to them. So the examples are given. All rivers with their countless streams and tributaries finally have to merge into the ocean. Similarly, one practicing Vedic knowledge, rituals, yoga, discrimination, sannyas, etc., aim for mind control. But a person who attends me has attained the ultimate goal of life with purification of his mind. So all those rules and austerities and rituals, etc., can be left aside if somebody has understood the attachment, the importance of attaching one's mind to the lotus feet of Hari Guru. Radhe Radhe.
Go ahead, Didi.
The gopis said, "It is wonderful to know that the tyrant Kans is now slain by our dear beloved Shri Krishna, and he is happy residing with his relations in Mathura. But we are curious to know that whether the ladies of Mathura love Krishna just like us, and does he too reciprocate? Oh, he surely must be, as the charms and amorous gestures of the Mathura women would be irresistible. Does he then even remember or mention us rustic women of the village in any context while chatting with the ladies?" Another group of gopis asked, "Does our Krishna remember the Ras Leela night when he sported with us gopis, his beloveds in Vrindavan, conducted in the bright full moon light, where we danced and sang of his delightful glories? Will Sri Krishna ever return back to us and infuse life back into us, like how Indradev would revive a dry summer forest, sending clouds of rain?" Other gopis wondered, why would Krishna now come back when he has slain major of his enemies and is ruling his kingdom of the Yadus after marrying princesses? Another gopis widely observed, why would Krishna come back here to us, as no purpose of his is left here? He remained self-sufficient. Even the women named Pingla has herself claimed that hopelessness is the one road to supreme happiness. Still, we continue only with the hope of meeting Krishna, as it is impossible to forget Krishna and his love, which is so proved that even Mata Lakshmi continues to stay in his heart, even though he does not long for her, and his footprints of Krishna and Balaram all over the Yamuna, the forest, the Mount Govardhan, the cows, the flute are all reminders of them, making it impossible to forget him. Krishna's words, smiles, glances, gait, laughter are visible wherever we look. How then can we ever forget him? Radhe, thank you.
Radhe. So, yeah. So the gopis keep changing their statements, and again they bring Mathura women into the picture, that the charms and amorous gestures of Mathura women must have been irresistible. So will he ever remember women like us who are rustic from the villages? And then they are thinking about the Ras Leela, which was conducted in the bright full moon light. So, and then other gopis also pitch in. They also say, why would Krishna now come back? He has slain Kans and all these the people whom he wanted to eliminate. And they give the example of the woman called Pingla, who has herself claimed that hopelessness is the only road to supreme happiness. So when you become completely hopeless, then only the magic can happen. So they give the example of Mata Lakshmi. In all, this is a very profound episode and not easy to capture in a short discourse. So maybe we should read the original text in the book a couple of times to get the full relish. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe, I think there are more slides. Probably we can it's
Oh,
almost
is it?
time. We can take some
How many?
questions.
Because I never knew that slides will be so many.
Yeah, and for this it is a long one. To go for the
Oh,
Bhramar Geet. So what we can do is we can take up the question and we can continue from here from
yeah, yeah.
next session.
Continue in the next slide, next session. Radhe Radhe.
Uh, so anybody has any question, please ask, and if you have any feedback, you can also share.
Radhe, Radhe, but yeah, I just wanted to say what a wonderful session. And I also have to say that we've missed you for so many weeks, and it's absolutely wonderful to have you back. So with that, I unfortunately have to leave this beautiful session, but hopefully I'll be there for much longer next week. Radhe, Radhe, and thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you.
Oh, where is it? Radhe Radhe. I'd just like to say there's so much of the Gopi Geet in these slides. I'm just trying to find the section where it's one of the couplets in the Gopi Geet. Number 9. Prabhu, the stories of your divine acts are an embodiment of nectar which brings life and hope to the people suffering from the pain of separation. The wise Mahatmas, the devoted poets, have all sung its praises. By mere listening to them, removes all sins and sufferings and bestows the supreme bliss and welfare as well. The reciters of Katha are the largest hearted benefactors and give the utmost to the universe. I mean, there's so much of the actual Gopi Geet in the slides that we've read today.
Thank you so
There's a
much.
section there with the Lakshmi Ji as well. I'm just trying to find that one. And also the Chaturshloki as well. There's, I don't know if it's me, but whenever there's class happening, there's couplets of the Chaturshloki coming up as well. And in this class, a person searching after the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, must certainly search in all circumstances, in all space and time, both directly and indirectly. This is couplet number 4 from the Chatusloki. And he mentions that I reside in everything: air, water, fire, the clouds, the birds, the bees, the squirrels. I am everywhere. And if we have that, like, I don't know, if we have that little bit of a feeling that yes, in times of adversities, they come our way to elevate us, just like with the gopis in separation. At the beginning, they were speaking ill of Shri Krishna. Then afterwards, towards the end, they realized that it is through separations that our love grows for Shri Krishna. I could go on and on, but we're short for time. Radhe Radhe, thank you so much for the class today. And Bayaji, I admire your resilience with this such a bad flu. You have resilience and you have Shraddha. It's quite a bad flu that's going around in Singapore at the moment. But thank you so much. Thank you. Radhe Radhe.
I think, yeah, despite your health, you're still spending time and giving time for us. So it's so nice. And it was a very wonderful session today. You know, we, like always, you summarized everything pretty well and explained all the text that we read. Thank you so much for your time. And
We have two newcomers. He's iPhone.
So Anindya Bhaiya is like he's also a devotee of Sri Maharajji. So
Okay.
recently he came to London. He was in Ireland. So
Speak closely from the mic, Bhaiya.
yeah. So
Yes, yes, Himangi Mataji. Yeah, Himangi.
Yes, please do
Yeah.
continue joining the classes.
Yes,
please.
yes, sure, I'll do it. It was very
Please.
soulful and it was very nice listening
Good.
to Bhaiya. Okay. Yeah.
And
Rajesh.
whereabouts in London are you based?
I'm based out in Hounslow Central, very near to where Vikas Bhaiya stays. And also I'm connected with Anjan Bhaiya and Vaibhav Bhaiya. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. We're neighbors then. I'm
Yes.
in the North Holt area.
Yeah. So the last satsang I attended was in Reading. And
Wonderful. Okay. Please continue to join us on Sundays.
yeah, I think there's also one more person. P's iPhone, like if they want to unmute and introduce.
Yeah, hi, Radhe Radhe. I'm Pooja. Thank you for the lovely session. What a wonderful way to start my morning. I'm based in Manchester, and this is the first time I've attended this session, so it's been very good, and hopefully I'll be able to attend all the upcoming sessions in the future.
Yeah, it would be great, like if you can join. So we had a small gap, and then we restarted from today. So yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Hope
That's
to
great.
see.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Except if I'm working, then I won't be able to attend on the weekend. But whenever I'm not working, I will definitely attend.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so as well, like we can conclude for today, and we can continue from the flight.
Sarkar ki jai.
Jai.
Shrimad Bhagwat Mahapuran ki jai.
Jai.
Jai Shri Radha.
Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai.
Radhe.
Radhe Radhe everyone.
Radhe Radhe. Thank you.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe everyone. Thank you.